Hi, my name is Jennifer Schlipp, and I'm a professional life and wellness coach as well as a certified personal trainer. I want to talk for a few minutes about stress and the differences between normal stress and chronic stress. And then let's also talk about what effects that chronic stress may have on our body, and then maybe talk about some tips on how to take control of our management and eliminate a little bit of the stress out of our lives. We can't eliminate all of it. Stress is a fact of life. So let's look at a normal response. When we have a threat or a challenge or a stressful event in our life, our body physically responds in certain ways that are considered normal. You may feel that your heart rate increases. You may feel your muscles get a little bit tense. You could even feel that sensation of butterflies in your stomach. You may have a moment of lack of concentration. All of these things are normal responses to normal stress. When the stressor is removed or the event is over, our body returns back to a relaxed and normal state easily. On the other hand, with chronic stress, which is stress that is defined by stress happening too often or for too long of a period of time, our body will react in more dramatic ways. We may be noticing that we feel irritable and tense. We may feel like we have a short fuse or feeling anxious. You may notice yourself having a harder time sleeping, bad dreams, sleep disturbances. You may be experiencing chronic headaches or even migraines. You may be feeling lethargic or having even questioning whether you might have chronic fatigue or something more serious. You may be feeling neck and low back pain. You may be having pain throughout your jaw if you feel like you're clenching a lot. You may also be noticing that you're talking more rapidly and more anxious and jittery all the time. When we feel like these signs of chronic stress are presenting themselves, we need to listen to our bodies and we need to take that moment to do something different. We need to take control of the situation, cope with it, and manage it better so that we stay in control and we don't let this get out of control. When stress goes unmanaged and unchecked for too long, it proposes serious consequences to our long-term health. It's not uncommon at all for responses to chronic stress to include things like high cholesterol, high blood pressure. You can even be gaining weight. You may be noticing an increase in your triglycerides. Your doctor may be telling you that you're at risk for developing diabetes or permanent high cholesterol. You may even be noticing digestive issues and seeking out ways to manage ulcers. One of the other serious consequences of this chronic stress is a decreased immune system. So, for any of us who are working with the public, or even if you're working with children, where you are in contact with a lot of germs and communicable diseases, having that decreased immune system can be very compromising to your ability to do your job. As compromising is the lack of energy and the lack of motivation to be able to withstand your day in a good mood with good energy and put your best foot out there. So we want to take control here. We want to look at the things we can do in our life to manage this better. So some of the coping methods I'd like to identify are limiting stressful situations, making sure that you have enough breaks, or if it's a very long meeting or a long event, make sure that you are infusing breaks and time for everybody to get away and collect themselves, decompress a little bit. Organizing your time is very important, making sure that you're not overbooking or not allowing yourself enough time to get from one thing to the next thing. If you feel like you are always running late or always just getting there in the nick of time, then you're going to feel always stressed. Talking with others helps a lot too. Just getting things off your mind can make you feel a lot better. Learning relaxation techniques, I think, can be hugely beneficial to everyone. It could be in the form of yoga, sitting down on the floor and stretching. It can also be as simple as just doing a 5 or 8 minute meditation in your chair, or closing your eyes and just focusing on your breathing for a little bit. All of those are relaxation methods that you can do on your own with no specialized training. So the other things we want to look at, and this takes a little bit more effort and a little bit more planning, but are definitely doable for all of us, are looking at our diet. We want to make sure that we're eating plenty of fruits and vegetables, plenty of hearty carbohydrates that provide a lot of nutrient-dense fiber, and then also lean proteins that don't carry a lot of saturated fat and cholesterol. So cleaning up our diet and eating a more whole diet, well balanced, nutrient dense foods, getting away from the sugars, the salts, the fried foods, the processed foods. All of this will kind of cleanse your body, cleanse your system. And we've all heard this before, when you feed yourself well, you perform well. So looking at that. Now moving on to exercise, we also want to make sure that we're incorporating regular, consistent daily exercise. It doesn't have to be anything extreme or weekend warrior. It just needs to get your heart rate up, get your blood flowing, and maintain it for at least 15 minutes. So that could be as simple as a walk or an exercise routine in your living room. Perhaps you can work in a lunchtime walk after lunch or things like that. You could even join a gym, take an aerobics class. You could do some resistance training. All of these will pay off greatly in offsetting those chronic stress responses. Exercise is specifically beneficial when people feel like they are gaining weight from being chronically stressed. When we're stressed for too long, our body produces an increased amount of cortisol, which is a stress hormone. When you exercise, you produce a hormone that erases cortisol out of your present life and gives you this endorphin boost to make you feel good, make the body relax, and let it know that it is not in a stress situation. So it goes back to its normal functions and its daily life easily. Some of the other things you want to do is work on your sleep habits at night. If you find that you are trying to go to bed and you're still really racing in your head, that might be a good time to implore a little bit of meditation or deep breathing. You also want to slow down your night gradually, start to wean off screen time and video games and things like that, or if you play mind games, like Sudoku and things like that, you probably want to start weaning those out a little earlier in the night, and obviously avoiding too much caffeine after the lunchtime hour is probably a good idea as well. It is different for every person how much sleep they need to feel restored and replenished, but on average, it is between 6 and 9 hours. You also want to develop proper work skills. Try not to allow yourself to procrastinate, where then you have this feeling of overwhelmed and you can't catch up. It's such a huge obstacle to do at that moment that you do carry that stress with you internally and for long periods of time until you're back into a caught up state. And then, working in time to just laugh and relax too. That is as important as anything. When you're feeling extremely stressed, maybe that's a moment where you allow yourself 5 minutes to read a funny joke or download a funny video off of YouTube or call a friend that makes you laugh all the time. Those are all ways to manage this on a daily basis so that you stay in control of your health and you don't let stress overrun you. I hope you found these tips to be helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in more videos in the future. Thanks.